Matchday 3 is here, the final matchday of the group stages, and importantly, my wildcard is active, and I'm hoping that we're going to bring in the best 15 players for this particular matchday and a few lovely differentials. So as always, if you look forward to today's video, make sure to drop a like and of course, smash that subscribe button. Enough waffling, let's get into today's video. So first up, we need to take a look at the actual teams we need to target for Matchday 3, because Matchday 3 is a little bit unique compared to the other situations. Now a reminder, in the round of 16, we all get unlimited free transfers. So Matchday 3 is a free hit for everybody, whether you're using your wildcard or just bringing in players for a free transfer. So we've got to understand who are the teams that actually qualified, because those are the teams that, while they are probably the best in the competition, also pose a bit of threat from risk of rotation. So those teams are going to include Bayern Munich in Group C, they've already qualified, Flamengo in Group D, and then we've got Juventus and Man City in Group G. So those have already qualified. They are probably teams we still want to buy from, but we don't really know who is exactly going to play from them because the managers can effectively rotate at their will. Then outside of that, we've got the teams that I would argue are ones that we need to target. They tick a few boxes. One, they're just a really good team. They have a really good fixture. And importantly, they have players that are actually great value. That's going to include PSG, who have great options up against Seattle Sounders, which is just a great fixture in general. Then we've got Boca Juniors against Auckland City, the standout fixture. This is a team that's conceded 10 goals in the first fixture, 6 in the second. And Boca Juniors, really in this group stage, need to score as many goals as possible to put them at the best chance of progressing. So Boca Juniors triple up is absolutely essential for anybody wildcarding. And if you can get them in your teams generally, that is a good position to be in. Then we've got Chelsea. Now, up against Esperance de Tunisia, they are not the greatest team in the world, and Chelsea have been very, very mixed, to say the least. So having confidence in Chelsea assets right now is not ideal, but they have not wrapped up the group, and they have to progress. Trust me, as a Chelsea fan, this is going to be absolute disastrous for Maresca if he were to go out, because the choices that he made in Matchday 2 have really put the fans up against him. Yes, it is only the Club World Cup, but still there's a lot of pressure on Chelsea to get this win, and I do think they're still a team that we need to consider buying, even though they are quite unpredictable right now. Then we got Borussia Dortmund up against Ulsan HD. I think this is a good fixture because I think Dortmund can score goals. I think Ulsan are okay. They're not the worst team in the competition, but I still expect them to concede, and Dortmund need to get the job done while that group still remains open. Realistically, outside of that, I've put Real Madrid against Salzburg. Now, Salzburg are probably the best of the teams we've spoken about as an opposition, but I think Real Madrid are obviously in a precarious position right now. Yes, they will progress, it is Real Madrid, but they still have to get the job done, and I think there are good assets available from Real Madrid that we need to consider for our teams. Outside of that, Atletico against Botafogo I think is fine, but they put up a really resolute performance against PSG, so I can't really sit here and say to you Madrid are guaranteed to score goals against that team. So it's one that we can kind of swerve. I think Palmeiras is a good choice against Inter Miami, but whenever Messi is in a team, I can never get fully behind the opposition. But I think Palmeiras is still a good and a wise investment. Porto as well against Al Ahly, I still think that's a good investment, but they have been very difficult to predict, Porto as a team. Also, I think Fluminense is a good option, but Mamelodi Sundowns have been quite an interesting team. I don't know whether they will keep a clean sheet or not, Fluminense, but there should be some goals in that game regardless. Inter Milan against River Plate, I just don't really know what way that is going to go right now. And realistically, outside of that, I think the other teams could be avoided, because while I think there are good differentials out there, I don't really think they are essential for our teams in Matchday 3. So that's kind of a bit of a roundup, one-stop shop on everything right now. If I've missed anything, please do let me know in the comments. So moving into my Matchday 3 wildcard team selection, and the goalkeepers first and foremost, we've got a combination of Boca Juniors' goalkeeper, Marchesin, and we have got Dortmund's Kobel, both playing on different dates, and I do think they are decent for a clean sheet. Now, a reminder, Boca Juniors have a great fixture up against Auckland City, where they haven't scored a goal yet, have conceded 16 goals in 2 games. I do think Boca Juniors really, we want to go all in on their attack, but I don't have huge confidence on exactly who is going to get the majority of the minutes. And I do think sometimes at 4.1 million, when we can save ourselves some money and get quote unquote a guaranteed clean sheet, I think it's worthwhile going there. So we are going to go for the Boca Juniors goalkeeper, and hopefully we won't need to have the backup of our Dortmund goalkeeper. But if we are needing it, Cobble's been good this competition. Dortmund have been okay, and Olsen HD is a decent fixture for Borussia Dortmund if we do require it. So the goalkeepers, there's lots of good choices out there, but I do like this combination in terms of the dates and the fixtures that they both have. So moving into my matchday 3 wildcard defenders, and we got a bit of a combination here and investment from different teams available to us. So I had double PSG defence in Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, but I am anticipating somebody to return in that attack. So we're going to just stick with Hakimi right now. Again, with Seattle Sounders as that fixture. Yes, I would like to go triple PSG attack, but sometimes I do think you need that comfort blanket of the defender, and I'll be astonished if PSG don't win that game quite comfortably. Now, controversially, I have gone for double Chelsea defence. Now, yes, Maresca might play Caicedo at right back, invert him into midfield, but I just think Reece James is going to play that. I think Gusto has been an absolute disaster for about 6 months now. I can't believe he played him in matchday 2. I think Maresca really is at fault for what happened in matchday 2, and it's probably the first question mark we've had as fans of him in the last few months. I'm not sitting here saying that he needs to get sacked, but I do think it was a poor selection from him. I think he will revert back to his trusted team, and I think that includes Cucurella and James in the fullback positions, and I just fancy Chelsea to progress. I think we've been pretty ropey, but I don't think the opposition that we're coming up against is good enough to really test us unless we have another crazy moment like Jackson getting a red card in the shape of somebody else. Now, to the other two defenders, I've gone for Blanco at Boca Juniors. Now, again, if there are Boca fans out there, please let me know in the comment section if there is an obvious attacker that should be in here alongside my other one, which I'll reveal later. But we're getting guaranteed minutes here for Blanco, and I think he is just a safe pick in that defence. Yes, I want to be chasing the goals, but I don't know where to go to right now outside of my other attacker. So we're going to go for Blanco as my defensive pick. And then, I haven't really mentioned much, but Palmeiras, randomly I've got Piqueres here. The fixture against Inter Miami, as I've spoken about, is not ideal. And if I was to change somebody in this team, I think this is probably the one right now. The only reason why he's in here is there's a bit of talk about him being the penalty taker in this Palmeiras team. He's 3.5% owned, so we get the +2 scouting bonus for this player. And when I'm trying to seek just those additional points, it feels like there could be a potential haul here for this player. I do think Palmeiras are better than that of Inter Miami. And I do question, even though Messi is an absolute god, 3 games in a very short spell for these players in the shape of Suarez, Busquets, Messi, I think it might pay its toll in this final game, whereas the fitness of these Palmeiras players might just come into effect in this game. So that's what I'm currently leaning towards right now. Mainly, this selection is for the scouting bonus and potential of a penalty, but I might be completely wrong in that situation. If there are any Palmeiras fans out there, please do let me know, but that is currently the defence. Time for the midfielders here, and this is where we have gone for the double PSG midfield. Now, there is a lot of talk about how Dembele is back in full team training. I do need to monitor that situation a bit closer to the deadline, because that is one that, of course, being 10 million, that's a big chunk of the budget. We need to make sure we're getting that one correct. But if it is the case, I love this combination of Dembele and Kvaratskhelia as the PSG attackers. This would be a fantastic pick with Dembele. Yes, he is 20% owned. It is what it is. I still want the best attackers in one of the best attacking teams. And I think I'll kick myself if I don't have Dembele as part of that. So Dembele is currently in, but I will monitor the situation to see if there are any changes and whether he's been ruled out or not. I would argue even 60 minutes in Dembele is probably worth keeping him in my team. Kvaratskhelia is absolutely locked in. He's played pretty much all minutes, and I think he's just a great pick in general. Now, we're going for Julian Brandt, which maybe is a bit controversial, but I think the Olsen HD game is good. Brandt's minutes have been decent enough. We're looking at it right now. We've got a 10-pointer against Mamelone Sundowns, plays 63 minutes, plays 77 against Fluminense. I expect him to start in this game, and I don't mind him. Annoyingly, he's 5.5% owned, so we don't get the scouting bonus, but I don't mind him as a choice. Again, that is one alongside maybe someone like Piqueres, who could come out of the team closer to the deadline. Then we've gone for a bit of a fun pick in Arias of Fluminense. Watched him, he was fantastic, really fun player. 4.1% owned, so he is in the scouting bonus territory as well. Again, I'm trying to have a bit of fun with this and get the players that do give me those additional points. So he is currently in the team, and a reminder, the fixtures up against Mamelone and Sundowns, While they've been impressive, I still think Fluminense will score goals in that game, and he's a great option at 6.2 million. And finally, we have got a real premium choice here in Jude Bellingham. Now, do I look at him and think he's absolutely guaranteed goals? No, but I do think he is a good choice. They need to get the win against Salzburg. No guarantee that Mbappe is going to be fit or not, and we know that his minutes are going to be very good as long as they are still in that fixture. So I think Bellingham is a really nice choice. Picked up that decent haul in matchday 2, and I feel like I want a piece of that Real Madrid attack, and I don't mind Jude Bellingham in this team. So that right now is going to be the midfielders, and I think I'm pretty much locked in on them. Finally, taking a look at the wildcard forwards, and first up we have got Chelsea's Delap. Now, do I love Chelsea offensively right now? Not really. However, with Nicolas Jackson being ruled out for the game in matchday 3, it's a guarantee that Delap will play the majority of minutes in this fixture. And importantly, the fixture's good, the minutes are good, and Delap falls in the scouting bonus territory because he is less than 5% owned. Now, will that possibly reach 5% by the time we get to the deadline? Potentially, but as of right now, I think this is a really, really good choice, guaranteed in that Chelsea team. And even though Chelsea were awful in matchday 2, I think Delap has some moments. He obviously had that chance where he ran off the shoulder of the centre-back and had a shot. I think he will get opportunities in this game, and I wouldn't rule out a first goal for Delap in this fixture. Next up, we have got probably the man that everybody needs to own, and that is going to be Boca Juniors' Merentiel. We don't know exactly if he's fully fit, but the reports recently from some Boca accounts have suggested that he's back in training and he should be available for the game. Now, a reminder, this is Boca's forward up against Auckland City. Anybody that really has played up against Auckland City in any sort of attacking capacity outside of Harry Kane has basically had double-digit hauls. And in terms of what he's done so far, a 9-pointer against Bayern Munich, played 65 minutes against Benfica previously, 80 against Bayern. So I would like to think he will get significant minutes in this fixture, and it does feel like any player that plays 45 or more has a fantastic opportunity against Auckland City. The only argument that I do have about my team right now is that if there is some sort of injury doubt regarding him, I don't have any other Boca attacker to kind of justify my choice. So I need to understand whether I should actually double down on the Boca attack and maybe take one of the defenders out. So that is one to consider with the team. And finally, we've got Borussia Dortmund's Guirassy. Now, he was in my matchday 1 team, disappointed me massively, but then, of course, he scored in matchday 2. And a reminder, he's up against Olsen HD. I really like Guirassy as a pick. I think he got pocketed against Thiago Silva in the first game, and I think we needed to appreciate that Fluminense are actually a really good team. Mamelin and Sundowns, they got 4 goals up against. I'm kind of anticipating them to score a few goals against Olsen HD as well. I think Guirassy is great for game time, and I also think he's just great in general as a choice at 9 million. So he's going to be in, and that is pretty much going to be my team. Now, as I said, the few players I am considering taking out is going to be Piqueres. If I just don't think that's worthwhile, I might take him out. And I also think, is double Boca defense the way to go, or should I try and look to get another attacker in there, knowing that they need to get some goals in this fixture? So that is one to think about. And of course, if I have any sort of Boca fans out there, please do let me know in the comment section. That'd be much appreciated. But that is how the wildcard team is looking. And of course, with captaincy being able to change literally every game, I'm going to put it on the first game and rotate. That should actually be on Dembele, so I will change it to him before the deadline. Yes, guys, okay, so that's going to wrap up today's video looking at my Matchday 3 wildcard team selection. Whatever fantasy game you're playing, it's always exciting when you are building a wildcard team. If I make any changes to that team, I'll try and post it in the community section of the channel. So make sure if you're not already, you are subscribed to the channel. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you do drop a like. Any questions, pop them in the comment section. I'll try to get to them before the deadline. Have an amazing day. Take care, and I'll see you real soon. Cheers.